There's a fish. Oh, it's a good bass. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. All right, people. Back at it again on a beautiful Saturday morning here. I am back a bit further upstream than I've ever fished it before. The water here is looking low and clear today, so I'm gonna spend the next few hours seeing what we can find out here. I think I'm gonna try to target bass, at least at first. You know, we've got the medium spinning setup here today that we're starting out with. It should be interesting out here. Hopefully we'll catch, you know, a couple of different species and hopefully some nicer sized fish as well. Love to get, you know, this river has smallmouth and largemouth bass. I'd love to get one in like the 2 to 3 pound range today. That'd be great, especially a smallmouth. But we'll just have to see what happens. Like I always say, you never know until you throw. So let's go. Man, pretty looking spot here. Definitely a little rockier than the other sections that I've tried on this river. Think in terms of lures, you know, like I said, I've got the medium spinning here. Just respooled some fresh line on it, 10-pound test line. And we're gonna be working our way through the water column from top to bottom. I think that's kind of the plan for right now. Starting off with this head and crazy crawler. You know, I had a pretty good day with this lure recently, but that was in a very different environment from here, and it's unclear if it's gonna work, but I just wanted to try it, you know, kind of built some confidence and momentum with this lure last time. But you know, in that situation, the fish were really keyed in on bugs and birds, I think. So this lure was kind of uniquely suited to that. But I'm kind of counting on this just being kind of like a different presentation that the fish are not that used to seeing. I'm gonna make my way up here, and once we find some fishable water, we'll start casting. It's kind of, I mean, I might make a couple of casts here, but it's pretty shallow. I don't think this area is gonna hold many big fish, but so I won't spend too much time here. This lure also doesn't seem to do very well in current, which could be an issue. Probably won't be casting this into the current very much, going for shadier spots and, you know, seeing if there's maybe some fish in the calmer stretches. We'll see. All right, people, we made a switch here. We're tied on the mini buzzbait, the Strike King 1/8 ounce buzzbait, and we've got something kind of funny rigged up here. We've got a twin tail grub rigged horizontally as a trailer. And my thinking here is that those legs are going to kind of kick behind it and look like a frog scampering along the surface. So a little unconventional, definitely experimenting here, but I've thrown this lure a couple times and just been getting short strikes. So I want to try to do something to make it a little more appealing and maybe help a fish commit, give it some bulk. A little more action. That's kind of my thinking there. So we'll see if it works. This may just not be a topwater day, you know, sometimes fish really want a topwater, sometimes they just don't. All right, people, I went ahead and made our switch here. We're going with this little crankbait here. This is the Rapala shallow shad wrap. Haven't caught anything on this particular lure. I've caught some with a on a different color, but it's just like a little, you know, bait fish imitation. I've seen some small fish swimming around, so there should be a decent imitation of them. So Gonna try this for a while, see some more moving water up there. That really might be key today. You know, we've been mostly casting into quiet water, and maybe just there aren't a lot of fish kind of feeding in these quiet areas. So we're gonna just keep fishing our way up the river. And we got kind of a rocky bottom here, so hoping that this crankbait will kind of deflect well off of the rocks and stuff. It's got kind of like a, you know, that lip on it is a little bit different. It's like a L-shaped lip. So it swims with more of like a horizontal motion compared to a lot of other crankbaits. All right, people, I just found this really nice looking spot over here. There's got to be a fish hiding in this pool, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna start with the crankbait, and if we don't catch a fish out of this area on the crankbait, then it's definitely time to make a swap. This is the deepest water I've seen in a while, and it's got current, so I would be really shocked if there isn't a fish, you know, a bass or something in here. There's a fish. Oh, little smallmouth. Well, we got a bite finally, but there's something. It's a fish. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Guys, huge Roanoke bass just hammered it in there. It's not hooked very well. Oh my gosh, that's a good fish, people. That's a good fish. Good Roanoke bass. Very similar to a rock bass, but this is probably like a 10-inch fish here, people. Fought very well. Wow, that's an awesome catch. I think that's gotta be my biggest. Wow, beautiful fish. This is kind of a rare species. In general, you know, it's only native to a few river systems. This is one of them. Very similar to a rock bass, but yeah, they just get bigger, and their markings are a little bit different. They have less scales on their face, less boldly marked, I would say. You know, the dark edging on the fin that you see in rock bass is absent. Beautiful fish. I'm gonna get a picture of this guy for sure. Awesome catch. Wow. Fought really well too. I think I'm gonna work over that pool a little bit more, see who else is lurking in there. That's a beautiful fish right there. Really nice. I'm gonna get a measurement on him too, if he'll cooperate with me. All right, let's give this guy a little bit of water, and then we'll try to measure him. I think he's 10 inches. It's a very nice fish. Very nice fish. Give him some water here. Hopefully he won't thrash out of my hand. The red eyes on these fish are so cool too. Got a little bit of damage on his top fin. Maybe something tried to get him a bird. All right, this fish is 11 inches. 11-inch Roanoke bass here, people. Whoa. He's feisty too. All right, one more look at him. Gorgeous fish here at the river. One of the unique species that you can catch out here. Let's let him go. He's been stressed a little bit, you know, out of the water, flopping around, getting laid on rocks. Thank you so much for biting, Mr. Roanoke bass. Really unique fish out here. All right, people. Made a switch here to the trusty jig spinner. You guys know this is one of my go-tos. Probably a little tired of seeing it right now, but went ahead and put this curltail shad as our plastic on it today, just because I've been seeing those tadpoles, and you know, I feel like a curly tail matches a tadpole kind of well. Just kind of trying to match the hatch a little bit. You know, this could also look like a bait fish or something too. But you know, gonna make a few more casts around this deep spot, you know, where we caught the Roanoke, and then time to keep moving. I think I'm gonna try to spend more time looking for a current, because you know, we covered a lot of quiet water with no catches, and then that Roanoke came along and ooh, had a nibble. So, but yeah, you know, usually in current, a little bit of flash can help you out. So that was kind of my thinking as well. Maybe the fish just want something with a little more commotion. But we'll see. Maybe this, you know, we haven't had that much luck with them moving lures, so it may be more of like a finesse day. You know, casting a little worm or some kind of plastic around. We'll just have to see. Here's a fish. Not big. I think it's just a red breast, but I guess we got something else to bite out here. He's small, but it is a fish. We'll take what we can get out here so far today, right? Good colors on him, at the very least. Get him out in the sun. Pretty fish. I'll get a picture of this one just because he's colorful. All right, people, send him back. Thank you, fish. Fish number 2 out here. The grind has been real. I'll say that much. We haven't figured much out, but at least the jig spinner was able to catch something. I mean, if the jig spinner can't catch anything, then it means you're in for a tough day usually. All right, people, going low and slow now. Got the Bass Pro Shops Hellgrammite rigged up on a Texas rig. Got a small little extra wide gap hook, 1/4 ounce bullet weight. Just gonna, you know, we're not really covering water anymore. We're just gonna cast this into the likely areas and, you know, just drag it along the bottom. You know, there's lots of little stalks and branches and rocks, so something weedless like this can kind of hopefully navigate that stuff without too much difficulty. But yeah, we're just gonna slow down, cast to the likely areas. You know, we're gonna be moving past anything that doesn't look, you know, extra fishy, and just trying to be a little more efficient, because we've been chucking and winding all day and it just hasn't paid off that much for us. We've got 2 fish, 1 very good fish and 1 very small fish. So like I said, I'm trying to find some bass today, but just hasn't panned out yet. Maybe this will make a difference. Well, our Hellgrammite ripped without ever catching anything. Don't understand how exactly. So we used the opportunity when we were re-rigging to try this little plastic worm instead. This is it's a Bass Pro Shops. It's called the Squirmin' Worm, like a 4-inch, you know, pretty small finesse type worm. Got a little sickle tail on it, so it got a little action on the drop. Never caught a fish on this, but maybe today's the day. The Hellgrammite just wasn't doing it. I've been a little disappointed in that bait this year. It just hasn't really caught a lot of good fish. I mean, it gotten a decent smallmouth on it, but I was expecting more from it. You know, hoping it would really kind of come in handy on tough days like today, and it's just not been doing it. So gonna try this worm for a little bit. Are you kidding me? Oh wait, there's a fish. Yes! Dude, I didn't think he was on there at first. Oh my gosh, yes. It's a largemouth. Stay hooked, please. Gotcha. Oh. Okay, maybe that was a good switch. That was a good cast. We made it right under that branch. And this bass was waiting there. Stubbed my toe, ow. Like an 11-inch bass, largemouth bass. In this quieter section. Anyway, really thankful to catch another one. Appreciate you, fish. Not the healthiest bass here. He's kind of got some lesions on his, or scales missing right there. Not sure what that's about. Send him back. Thank you, fish. Off he goes. Back in the direction of that log. Well, at least he paused and turned around to watch me. Sometimes bass do that. They'll kind of turn around and look at you when you let them go. Like, I don't know what the hell just happened, but I'm alive. Bass are pretty smart. You know, they'll react to things like that, getting caught. Not saying that fish was never going to be caught again or something, but they do adapt to fishing pressure and stuff like that, so. There's a fish. Oh, it's a good bass. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. No. Oh, oh, oh. Man, that was a nice bass. Can't believe that. I mean, we don't have a very big hook. But I mean, I swung on him pretty hard. That was like a 2-pounder, 3-pounder. I think it was just a largemouth, but wow, that was a nice fish. Here's a fish. Please stay on, buddy. It's another largemouth. Not as big as that last one. I got you, fish. He's hooked good. He's not going anywhere. He's bleeding a little bit. One quick look at him, and we're gonna send him back. He can recover, otherwise we're gonna take him with us. I'm not sure how he's bleeding. He wasn't hooked in the gills or anything. Alright people, so ended up losing the audio for this catch here. Our camera was kind of acting up. I think it was just overheating a lot on this summer day. But and we're still throwing that squirm and worm, making our way back downstream, and we run into another fish here, kind of in some faster water. And it ends up being another Roanoke bass, another one of these kind of rare fish that you can't find in a lot of systems. So pretty cool to run into another one. Not quite as big as the first one, but just a beautiful species of fish, you know, kind of like a rock bass, but yeah, they just grow bigger and fight a little harder, and yeah, it's kind of special to be able to catch them because most people aren't able to. But yeah, at this point, you know, we were wrapping the day up. We couldn't really go any further after that deep spot. It was just getting too deep, but nice to catch another fish as we're making our way back downstream. Appreciate that one. Pretty fish there. There's a fish. Not very big. Oh my gosh, guys. A redbreast got the Texas rig of all things. A redbreast got it. Bigger than most of the ones I catch out of this river, at least lately. Wow. That's a hungry fish right there, people. That's a hungry fish. Let's get him unhooked. Wow, hungry redbreast here. And it's gotta be a decent sized one to even get that hook in his mouth. Check him out, people. It's like a 6-inch redbreast right there. It's a pretty fish. I'll get a picture of this one and send him back. That's one of the bigger redbreasts I caught out of here in a while. Hey, I'll take it. Pretty redbreast here. Appreciate you. Alright, people. We are back at the car. Started fishing today, probably like 11:30 or noon. It's now 6 p.m. So we spent basically the entire afternoon exploring this new section, trying to target larger fish, bass primarily. And I have to say, I feel like this river kind of showed us a different side today. A different side of the river. The character of the river here is definitely different from where I typically fish. It's rockier here. The bottom is pretty uneven. Yeah, lots of rocks. My feet are in pain right now. Just got my toes all bashed up. Hopefully they're not like super bruised or anything, but they don't feel too great. Yeah, wading this spot was a little bit tricky, you know, slipping, and you know, I slashed my finger open here. Gonna probably have to do a little first aid on that when I get back. Thankfully it stopped bleeding, but you know, aside from that, the fishing was pretty tough too. You know, we went through several different lures there. We did end up catching that big Roanoke bass on the crankbait pretty early on, so that was cool. That was probably the highlight of the day, was catching that fish on the crankbait. Key today ended up being that Bass Pro Shops squirm and worm, that 4-inch worm with a little sickle tail. Unfortunately, the fish that I really kind of tried to come out here to get today, you know, a bigger bass, ended up escaping our grasp. You know, I thought I set the hook pretty good on him. You know, that drag was screaming, and usually, you know, if your drag's going, then you've got him hooked pretty good, but that big fish just made that jump right in front of us, and the hook was out. So that was a little bit of a disappointment, not being able to land that bigger fish. So yeah, it was kind of a grind today, but I guess the upside today was that we were able to get that new bait to work. So definitely gonna you know, keep that soft plastic worm in the back of my head, you know, when I fish in places like this. It's just kind of like a slower bottom presentation. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Interesting, always going out and exploring a new spot. Take it easy. And if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. We got new videos dropping every week, so you're never gonna run out of fishing content